RMJ movie reviews back again. This is going to be different, folks. This is not a movie review or anything that has to do with movies. This is kind of a little bit of a segue and something different for me this time. It's an announcement. I have officially decided that although I love all this behind me and I love filmmaking and I love film, I love the entire craft of telling stories and acting and movie making, theater, and so forth. I love those things. Um, I have an announcement that I have decided that I am going to do in correlation with my movie review channel. I'm also going to do a weight loss channel. Um, to tell my story quickly, so I don't really particularly know if this is going to appeal to some of my audience members or not. Um, I know most of the people who are on here are for this stuff here, and that's cool. If you're into fitness or not, it's up to your choice whether you'd like to watch this or not. Basically, um, I just give my quick stats. The reason I've finally decided to also do a weight loss channel in correlation with this movie making or movie review channel that I love so much is the fact that obviously I've talked before on my channel about how Arnold Schwarzenegger was one of the big reasons that I got into films, and Conan the Destroyer was a film that I saw when I was about 5 years old, and it just I loved Arnold, idolized Arnold as a small child, and up and through my early teenage years. Um, and fast forward way down the line to when I became an adult. I think sometime when I was in my late 20s, I was maybe about mid 20s, 25, 20, 25, 26, 27. I had really gained a lot of weight. I'm a gentleman I'm 5'8". Um, Kind of in my late teens, early 20s, I sat at about 180, 190 pounds. That was the window I sat at. But by the time I had went off to college, hit my mid 20s, late 20s, I, you know, ballooned up to kind of like 235, 240, and experienced a lot of personal trials and went through a depression period. And I ballooned all the way up to, and I like to use that word balloon. I ballooned up to, I believe, no, it's not, I believe, I actually have it written down. I hit 284 pounds. So, and this was over a period of years. So I'd probably say maybe from like 2007 to like 2000 and I think maybe 13 or 12. I hit about 284 pounds. And by this time I think the early 30s. I might have been 29, 30, something like that. Currently I'm 37 years old. I'll be 38 towards the end of the year. But anyway, with the stressors of life and a lot of depression, I ballooned up to that level, and it pretty much just stopped taking care of myself, was binge eating, really going absolutely freaking berserk. And what I mean berserk, just pretty much anything I could drink, anything I could eat, whatever it was, I was inhaling it. I was literally, I like to think of that scene from The Nutty Professor where Eddie Murphy, the clumps, and he's like Hercules, Hercules, and they're like farting and eating chicken and wings and all that kind of stuff. That was me, and and one of the things I also noticed too is about as in correlation to how I was when I was in my early 20s, when I was like, 180, 190 pounds. And, you know, I noticed I was treated differently as opposed to by the time I was in my early 30s, late 20s, 29, 30, and I hit that 280 pounds. Just everything pretty much took a shift down. Self-esteem, self-image, everything just really went to absolute rock bottom. And it was reflected in every aspect of my life. So finally, I had got to a point, I got to a point where um, I had enough. So I finally decided to make a change. Um, the job I was working at, at the time back in geez, what year, 2013, 2013, I was working for a hospital, and they offer like weight loss programs through your health insurance and all that sort of thing. So I had finally decided that, and at this point, guys, really there was a lot of things that was happening with my health too. It was like meaning I was working in a hospital, so I was in a job where I'm constantly on my feet. So, my knees began to hurt, my feet began to hurt. Um, Obviously my clothes were getting much tighter. Things like I think I heard Robert De Niro talk about this when he did Raging Bull, like going like literally, and I'm not kidding y'all, tying my shoes, like literally I'd have to go like and tie my shoes. Like it was just really getting bad. Sleeping pattern was suffering a lot. I also remember that I remember the way I used to breathe, because I'm a gentleman who my body really is meant to sit at about 180 pounds. Maybe not a little bit more, maybe 190 to about 170 is really where my body should sit. I'm only 5'8". Um, but there was just a lot of things. Notice my breathing. I never was diagnosed with sleep apnea, thank goodness. But either way, pretty much I was slowly falling apart. So I took advantage of this weight loss program through my job, which my job at the hospital I was working at that time offered magnificent healthcare benefits, and I got to speak to a nutritionist. And pretty much at this point, I subscribed to every fitness YouTube channel. I watched every YouTube fitness channel. I bought every workout book, which of course I had to buy Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding. All those books that I bought, I still earn. Muscle and Fitness. I'm trying to think. Was it? Yeah, it was Muscle and Fitness was one that I stuck to Muscle and Fitness pretty close. Men's Health is another mag. Those are the magazines Men's Health is really the ones that I stick to the closest. I'm not a very big fan of men's fitness. I don't like the men's fitness magazine. But anyway, I bought both of LL Cool J's book. I bought Sylvester Stallone's book. I read little snippets of things that Dolph Lundgren had said. Took a little bit of certain things Wahlberg said. I don't hold with Wahlberg in terms of fitness. He's very physically fit, but I kind of some of the things he says, but I took little pieces, and I just studied, and I combined everything my nutritionist told me that my job paid for through my healthcare insurance, and I did the get the cheaper healthcare insurance if you lose weight. So I got my cholesterol down, I got my blood pressure down. I started rocking it, y'all. And right here, I literally had went to the store, and I remember it was the beginning of the year. It was the end of 2014, going into 2015. I had managed to get a little bit of weight off before that, so I think I maybe got down to about 268 at that point, going into 215. But anyway, I went and got a physical with the doctor. I get a whole makeup. The doctor was brutally honest with me. He gave me books about blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart attacks, strokes, everything. And I knew my blood pressure numbers, my cholesterol. I knew all those numbers were not going to be good. So I didn't fool myself about that. So I went to I think I went to CVS or one of those stores and I bought a notebook. And I finally decided I would take some before pictures on my cell phone, which I did. I'm pissed because when I switched phones, those very first pictures that I took of myself are now gone. That's very upsetting to me because I like to hold on to those pictures. So I have some other pictures that kind of left off in the latter half of my weight loss journey. It's kind of frustrating, but anyway, so I bought this notebook here. And this is the original. This is the original. I went to the Arnold in Ohio, so that was a sticker I got there. And I put it on the front of the book. But anyway, this is the original notebook that I started for my weight loss journey here, and I have pretty much. This is the same notebook that I've documented every aspect of my weight loss journey. So it has the very beginning first number. The date on this is actually. I actually started a little bit before that. I started on July 7th of 2011. But it looks like I really didn't hit my stride until about 215. But anyway, long story short, I rocked it. I rocked it pretty much from there on out. And it was spring of 2017, I got down to 187 pounds. So that's from the beginning of 215 to 217. That was how much weight I lost. You guys do the calculations right offhand. I don't even know right offhand what that is. I had it written down. I don't feel like thinking about it right now because it's early in the morning. But anyway, I got down to 187 pounds. The shift in my life, the shift in my confidence, the shift in just progress I was making in my life was extraordinary. The way I dress changed. I remember it was really weird because it was like when I was really overweight, I had this older car. I had a minivan, guys, and that was because a relative had passed on. I had lost my car from college. When I gained weight, everything it kind of went bad. My car I had for many years broke down, and I was back to working this job that I hated. Everything was at an all-time low, and I was driving this minivan. And I wasn't married. I'm not married. Wasn't married. Didn't have children. Don't have children. And it was really it was just all jacked up. But it was crazy when I lost all the weight. Just everything I did, the way I dressed changed. I got a brand new car. It wasn't brand new. It was used. But it was only like a couple years. I think I got the car in 2016. It was a 2014 or something like that. And the car had like 25,000 miles on it or something like that. But it was a very nice car. It just everything. I had got a new job. I had switched apartments where I was getting more knowledge. I was learning a lot more things. It just everything really just progressed in my life. It was really a trip. It was really interesting how I would look at pictures of myself. I would look at pictures of myself from when I was really overweight, and then I looked at my pictures of myself when I got down to 187 pounds, or it was almost 186, which I hadn't been that light since I was probably at least 22 or 20. It was interesting how I looked younger and I was older. That was weird. I was 35 years. I think I was 35 years old, and I looked younger at 35 than I did when I was 28 or 29, which was crazy. But anyway, fast forward again. I've hit another. This is not even. I wouldn't even really consider this is not a low. But I've hit another a slight little bend in the journey here, and I'm back into the 200s again. Now, thank goodness it's not it's crazy. Right now, the scale currently says that I'm sitting at 218, but I suspect I'm a little bit lower than that. Kind of this particular time. There were some other little things in life that shifted, and I kind of see the correlation between how your weight changes and things in your life change. So it kind of seems that they're kind of connected, it seems like. But so anyway, and actually I had ballooned up a little bit higher. So I think around the summertime, I was probably at about 228. but now I'm down to about 218. So the scale says, but a couple weeks back, the scale it had me at about 214. I actually did measurements on my stomach and my waist and my legs, and the inches, I've actually lost like about an inch uh, since the last time I actually measured myself, which was I think late December. So, but it's interesting that the scale has gone up. Needless to say, I started working out again back in October, this last October, and I was able to get that go from the 228 down to where I'm at about now. So January, the beginning of January, I think January 5th or something like that, it says I'm at about 219, but a couple weeks back it said I was about 215. Now the scale is kind of doing this wacky thing where it's going up and down. So really it's jumping all over the place from 220 to like this 215, and it's like yo-yoing all over the place, but I can clearly look at myself in the mirror and see that my face has gotten thinner. So at this point, I'm really struggling because although, I mean, I've killed it in the gym. You know, I'll go minimum if I'm having a heavy work week or whatever, then sometimes I can only get to the gym twice a week. I don't like to only go twice a week. I really like to kill it and go 4 times a week. That's what I really like to do. But at this point right now, because I'm back in the 200s, and to be perfectly honest, I don't like for my weight to sit in the 200s. I don't like being thick and heavy and bulky. I don't like that look. I liked personally where I was sitting at 2 summers ago, where I was in the 180s. I like to sit there. I like to be lean and be muscular, and I don't have to be super duper lean, but I like the more lean, muscular look. I just feel better. I move better. I like the way my clothes fit. But at this point right now, I've hardcore been back in the gym. I'd probably say since maybe around maybe since November. Christmas I tapered off a tad bit because of the holidays, but really I've been pretty hardcore with it, and the weight is not coming off as easily as it did the last time. And that's what I'm shooting for, is to be lean and muscular, probably on the level of let's say Will Smith in I Am Legend, or Mark Wahlberg in definitely not Pain and Gain. I don't like him with that look. Maybe more something like Mark Wahlberg in one of his movies, like The Fighter or something like that. Like that's kind of where I personally like to sit. But you know, guys, at this point, I'm really going berserk here. I'm losing it because the scale is it. I don't know what's going on here. I had some before pictures that I took in October, and I took a picture this morning. Now I really looked, and I've got some before pictures that I took from 2 years ago. So I can really see the big changes in those pictures. This picture's here, I can really only see really a tiny difference really in my face, slightly in my stomach. So I at this point, I'm very frustrated that the weight is not coming off like it did 2 years ago. I'm just really agitated. I'm really frustrated. I'm really angry with myself that I let myself get back into the 200s again. I don't even like sitting here. So I'm losing my mind, basically. I'm trying to figure out what exactly I have to do because look, and we're going to talk about diet here. People say that, diet. The reality is most of us who have a 9-to-5 job, we're not going to live like fitness competitors. That being said, I am very consistent with what I eat, which is mostly egg whites, turkey bacon, oatmeal, sugar-free syrup, chicken breast spinach, turkey. Sometimes I eat ground turkey. Usually it's the 93% lean. Sometimes I eat turkey hot dogs. I try to keep try to find the ones that have low sodium. Uh, Almonds, brown rice, black beans, spinach. Lately, what I've switched to lately is I like to buy the baby spinach out the bag and cook it with avocado oil or virgin olive oil spray, grapes. Uh, that is honestly what I eat on the regular. That's pretty much what I used to eat when I lost the weight a couple years ago. Um, I'm gonna talk about that. So that's how I eat. I pretty much eat clean. Now my weakness, and I usually eat like that Monday through Friday. Uh, Saturday and Sunday, I give myself a little bit of a leeway to cheat. I don't cheat all day, but I throw a little cheat in there. So like if I go to the movies, I'll get a popcorn. I don't get the large popcorn anymore. I try to get a small popcorn, which even that's still a lot. But what I try to do is fast most of the day, and then I'll get a baby popcorn. I'll get a protein bar, which those have tons of sugar in them. That's why I kind of give the protein bars in my little cheat meals. Um, and a big thing that's really big, I'm not into sugary drinks, never have been. I only drink water, and I'll have almond milk, but I usually try to get the one that's like 30 calories per serving. If I'm being really cheap and I just want to shop at the Dollar General, sometimes I have to get the one that has 80 calories per serving. I don't like to get that one. I prefer to stick with the 60 or 31. But sometimes, hey, I got to put some groceries in the fridge, so I grab what's right offhand. Um, my biggest weakness is in terms of just junk and things that you shouldn't eat that have sugar are those NO2 NOS energy drinks. I just really like the way they taste, and I think that's because of the sugar content and the serving size. Usually, I have about one of those a week because that's like my personal treat. Those things are terrible for you. I know they are. I used to drink a lot of Monster, but usually either the NO NOS energy drinks, the tall boys you get from the gas station, or the Monster tall boy drinks. I usually have those at least once a week. And if I really just can't control myself, sometimes I'll have it twice a week, but I'll do the really short ones, which even still the serving sizes for those are too much too. Um, Fast food, I really don't have that much of a problem with anymore. I can really control those cravings pretty good. But if I'm really like fast food to me is like I'll eat graham crackers, honey made graham crackers, and I can eat like 2 packs of those, which those are like 2,000 calories. But I don't eat like that often. Or maybe I'll have Kellogg's Raisin Bran, which those has sugar. Um, but really the worst I'll ever get is maybe I'll have Wendy's, and that's like, and if I go to a fast food joint, I'm not messing around. I don't go super berserk, but maybe I have like a biggie fry, not biggie fry anymore, but I have a biggie fried junior bacon cheeseburger and like a 5-piece nugget, and I think all that together might be something like 1,800 calories or something crazy like that. But I only do that maybe once every 2 weeks or something like that. And then maybe sometimes I might get some Domino's pizza. But even still, I'll fast the entire day and then I'll just eat that. I don't really go berserk with the fast food. The worst I get is with those energy drinks and maybe the graham crackers or something like that. But I don't really go too berserk with that. That being said, I'm having trouble figuring out why the weight is not going down like it did the last time. Uh, because I work out minimum 3 days a week, in which I follow the routines in LL's platinum workout book. So I do that one, and then I'm moving on to the routine in this second book. But that's usually, and then I do boot camps. So I do spin classes, or I'll do just regular workout boot camps that they offer at my gym. I go to LA Fitness because they offer a pretty good discount rate. And LA Fitness is pretty decent. It's not the greatest, but it has enough variety in equipment and enough variety in the exercise classes that it keeps me on point. But I work out fasted, and I'll do my LL routines, and then I'll do a boot camp right afterwards. And that was what I did to get down to the 187 pounds. But I'm at a loss as to just why it's not coming off as quickly. It's really driving me nuts. I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting angry about it. I'm just being totally honest in what a struggle weight loss is. And, people often like to talk about how, like, I like to correlate this with the people who are the haters who always have something negative to say about people who are overweight and this, and that, but they have no idea. Number one, because they can't do it. I guarantee you, they can't sit up here and eat clean for even 3 days. They don't have the discipline to sit up there and go to a gym and pound out these workouts week after week, months after months, years after years. They don't even have it in them. But that being said, they don't really know the struggle that people go through on a daily basis with this entire thing. It's not just I'm going to the gym and I'm going to look good and this and that. There's really an emotional and psychological struggle that you go through when you're going in this process, which is what I'm experiencing right now. So at this point, I'm really losing my mind. I'm going into Ray Liotta levels of craziness with this entire thing because, and I did measurements. I did measurements with, I actually bought this online. This is a pretty good measurements, numbers on the scale. I got a body fat analyzer. I don't necessarily believe what those numbers say, but what I hold true is that I want to make sure those numbers go down. So whatever the number says on this thing here, I want to make sure that it's going down. Presently right now, so the last time I documented, the very beginning of what I documented my weight for, the first documentation was on October 21st, 2018. Which I came in at 226 pounds. It was 226 pounds. By December 7th, 2018, I got down to 221. So now we are at January 3rd of 2019. It says I'm 219 pounds. It says my stomach was 42 inches. It says my waist was 39. Now, I hopped on the scale this morning. It says I'm 218. But I measured my stomach. My stomach came in at about 40 inches. And my waist is a little bit less. It's really weird. My stomach actually has gone down more. And I measure right below the belly button. And my waist is sitting a little bit below 39 inches. So I guess it's going down, but the scale is like getting really wacky right now. It's like I already told you guys. So anyway, that was a really long tirade there. For those of you who are interested in weight loss or weight training, I hope you were able to bear with me. But from here on out, I will simultaneously be doing my movie review channel with a weight loss channel combined in one. So if whichever one you all are interested in, you can watch for either or. If there's people who are just interested in the weight loss, then you just watch the weight loss, weight training side of it. And if you're just interested in the movies, just watch that. So that's where I'm at right now. It's a struggle. The struggle is real. This is something that I finally just decided to experiment with. When I did my measurements and looked at my pictures this morning, I was just so frustrated and so angry that I just decided that I have to put this on a platform and put it out here. So yeah, weight loss channel. Weight training channel, along with the RMJ movie review channel. So I guess this will be the RMJ weight loss, weight training channel as well. And I want to be clear that I'm not certified. I don't have any certifications. This is something that I did all on my own by reading books, YouTube videos, and seeing a nutritionist, and going to boot camps and working out on my own. I did that all on my own. So, if anybody who's interested in weight loss or anything like that, give me some feedback. Maybe you can trade things with me about how you felt about what I said. But yeah, um, I have to decide how quickly I'm gonna post on this. But yeah, this is what it is. And so, RMJ weight loss and weight training, the beginning, will be back soon.